Good morning, family. This is Food by Faith Garden to Table, and welcome. Right now, we are in the midst of a very cold winter here in Georgia Zone 8A, and I have a lot of work that I need to do outside, but it's just too cold. So, we are continuing on with our winter indoor growing. As you can see from some of my previous videos, I do have the agastache, the rose mint growing inside. I just had to give it a really big trim, and I actually gave the herb to the chickens. I have the Hawaiian chili pepper. I have two of those growing inside right now, and we all know that, sorry about my vacuum. We all know that peppers are notoriously slow growers. So I have those started inside in the same AeroGarden that I have a mint lettuce. And the lettuce is called, the romaine is called mint lettuce because of how the leaves are shaped, not because it tastes like mint. It is a very good tasting lettuce, and it has grown well. Whenever I try to grow butter crunch inside, it tends to get a little bit on the bitter side. So this year I wanted to try a different lettuce, and then I have lemon balm growing inside. But what I want to do today is get a head start on my peppers. A lot of our gardening community, GT Junior grows it, Mike's Chaotic Garden, Broke Farmer, You Grow Row, everybody, G Mama Grows, are beginning their seeds inside. For me, I'm just going to start in my lead pot system. I'm not actually going to set up any grow lights this year or anything like that. The two Hawaiian chili peppers that I have in the AeroGarden, later, well, not later this month because this month is coming to a close very soon, but later this week I actually am going to up pot them out of the AeroGarden and place them into some soil, simply because they are beginning to get their true leaves. And I will show you guys, hold that thought, let me go get the plants so you can see that they're showing their true leaves. So this is the Hawaiian chili pepper. This is the root system, and then this is the second one. As you can see, they are getting some true leaves on them. So I am going to up pot them and place them into some indoor growing soil. In the years past, when I set up different grow stations, I was getting entirely too many gnats, and none of the solutions that the internet proposed were working for me. So, I mean, you guys seen in the past, like I've grown a whole full-on garden on this wall here in my dining room before. Corn, French style, beans, everything. But what we are actually going to do today is, so this is a new pepper that I got from Emma Gardner. It's called the pumpkin spice jalapeno pepper. And it says that it's the early jalapeno pepper, a great variety for northern gardeners. This variety reigns early, dark green to red in color. The peppers grow up to 3 inches, prolific producers. Can be eaten raw, cooked, or pickled. These peppers are a wonderful ingredient to traditional guacamole or can be sauteed and added to fajitas. Days to germinate, 7 to 10 days. You should start indoors 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. Germination 80 to 90 degrees, 75 days to maturity. The plant spacing is 12 to 18 inches and the fruit size is 3 inches tall. So I pulled out my 2 containers with peppers. So we're going to do that pumpkin spice jalapeno pepper. We are going to do the pimento pepper. I have lots of banana peppers that I was able to can last year. I used those for my charcuterie. So I will grow some more this year because I like to have them on hand. Let's see what other peppers we are going to grow. I do know that the third pepper that I want to grow is the Zulu pepper. And in the past few years, I've been growing jalapenos and chocolate bells. So I have been able to save seeds from those. Let me see. And of course, we're going to grow our banana peppers. So that's going to be the fourth one. And again, I do want to do a hot pepper, so it's probably, I was thinking of the lemon drop, but you know what, I already have the Hawaiian chili pepper, so I can actually make a hot sauce out of that one. So let's see. Because in my lead pot system, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spots. And right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 peppers. I think that's all we are going to start because again, I have 2 of the Hawaiian chili peppers already started. I already have it filled with water. I am going to start it inside and probably, I would say the first week in March, I'll take it outside. I'll take the entire system and sit it outside. But until then, it will be inside in the dining room. We have our grow sponges here. And guys, another thing that I wanted to show you, I went to the Dollar Tree the other day. One of my friends called me and said, oh, you know, Dollar Tree has their seeds out. And I love going in there and getting these big packets of seeds. And all I do is kind of take the packet and I shake it into the area. And on the right side of my yard, I have a really big shaded area. So I am going to shake some of these flowers into that shaded area, and then in the back I'm going to put mammoth sunflowers so that they can grow up. So in the front I'll put the wildflower blend. I'm going to put some onions in the front, and then in the back I'm going to put sunflowers, but in the middle I'm actually going to place some pumpkins. And that way, if the pumpkins want to climb, they can climb up the sunflowers, and the onions will protect them in the front as well from pests. And then on a different section in that area, I am going to have marigolds, because this year for pest pressure, I'm using onions, garlic, and marigolds. Of course, I'll have basil planted near wherever I plant tomatoes, and tomatoes won't be in my garden beds. but they will actually, I have about 3 pots that I am going to designate strictly for tomatoes. And then in each one of those pots there will be basil growing. So as you can see, this is what our grow sponges look like. This one looks bad. This is what our grow sponges look like. And these grow sponges, they are made out of coco coir, and they're soft and airy and have some natural mold resistance and are compostable. But what I'm going to do is, once I place them in here, I learned a little trick from Mike's Chaotic Garden. He put some foil over it, and that kind of combats the top being exposed to so much of the light in the air and getting mold. So let's get this seed starting going. So our first 3 is going to be our pumpkin spice jalapeno. So this is going to be our second spicy pepper that we have growing this year. And if you've seen pepper seeds before, you know that they are pretty tiny. And so we're just going to drop it right in and drop that right in. And you guys know that I travel a lot. This year I actually am going to go back to blogging. Because I take a lot of pictures when I travel, when I come back home, I don't, I have the tendency to not jump on my blog and actually write about my experiences, but I always tend to video while I'm there, as well as take lots of pictures. But I would like to blog a little bit more, because a lot of times people need answers to questions, and it's easier sometimes if I do a written travel blog. That way maybe they can get some of their answers there. But again, I am always available if someone wants to ask me questions about a place that I have been, or the foods that I have tasted while I was there. Just recently, last week, as a matter of fact, on Thursday, I came back from Brussels, Belgium, and it was a beautiful experience. I absolutely enjoyed myself. And prior to that, I was actually in Jamaica, which this was my second time around going to Jamaica. And the experience was a little bit different this time. But still yet, it was a great time to be had. I have a few food travels on my mind this year that I want to attempt to do. So I pray that I'm able to do them and you guys can come along with me. The blessing was when I was in Belgium, I just so happened to be on a food tour with a couple. Guys, what I'm doing is trying to get the seed all the way down. But I was on a food tour with a couple from Canada, 2 Canadians, and they owned a greenhouse, and they were actually on a 2-week journey learning different stuff. They were actually going to the Netherlands as well, but they were learning different things about greenhouses in different areas. They were also food tasting, but they were learning how to better operate their greenhouse in the winter. And so they were traveling to some of the colder places and seeing how they operate greenhouses during the winter, because what they told me is kind of like me doing the majority of my traveling during the winter months, because it is a slower time in the garden for me. So I can move a little bit better around the world. And for them, what they told me was that they pretty much shut the greenhouse down in the winter, and then they get back started up prior to spring. So they were able to do exactly what I was doing, travel around and get a little bit more knowledge about how they were going to operate. All right, guys, this is, where are we at? January 23rd. January 23rd, and we are starting our peppers. We're starting our Zulu pepper. We are starting our banana pepper. We are starting our pumpkin spice pepper and our pimento pepper. So what I'm going to do now, I have it filled with water. I have the solution inside. We're going to cover these with foil and we're going to get them plugged up, and we are off to the races. All right, guys, continue to put your submissions in for your hashtag Winter Indoor Growing 2023, and let's see all the things that we can do during this cold winter season. As always, guys, have faith in our food, and we'll see you the next time.